It's been 2 weeks since the 2024 WWDC keynote, and as I'm sure you've seen online, there's been a lot of posts about the ugly app tint icons on your home screen. But as ever with my reviews and digital content online, we're looking at all the different things. So this is my review of iOS 18 and Apple WatchOS 11 and a little bit of macOS 2 weeks after using them on my primary devices. Welcome back to the same location that I filmed my WWDC keynote summary video last year as we take a look at iOS 18. But before we look at iOS 18, I wanted to quickly talk about a tweet I saw online. Essentially, this tweet is talking about how stable iOS 18 developer beta is. In fact, giving it a 10 out of 10 for everything. Battery life, the performance, how much it crashes. If I'm honest with you, I would wait till September to download it. Anyway, let's have a look at iOS 18. Okay, iOS 18. And as I'm sure you've all seen, there's more home screen customizations now. And my personal favourite have to be the app icons on automatic, meaning that when the sun sets and my iPhone goes into dark mode, the app icons themselves also now go into dark mode. You can have these as always in dark mode if you prefer, and you can also easily flick a switch to make the app icons bigger and the text disappears too, which I know a lot of people online have been a fan of. The other option is the tinted option, which can let you tint all the app icons, literally any colour you want, using two sliders to make it look even better. There's also an eyedropper tool where you can select a section of your wallpaper and have it match the colour of the app icons. I've seen online a lot of people giving this option slack for the way it looks at the moment, and I would say personally, just give it a bit of time, what you read online. By the time it gets to September, this may be smoothed out, but also gives the option for third-party app developers time to update their app icons to work better with the tinting option, and it should start to look better. A highly requested new feature is that we can now lock any apps so that they require Face ID to be opened. This feature also goes one step further than that, however, as we can also now have the app fully hidden from our home screens. Choosing to lock an app behind Face ID moves the app into a new hidden folder in the app library, which then requires Face ID to be opened. It is worth noting, moving apps to the hidden folder stops the app appearing in search anywhere, and push notifications will stop working for the app. Another awesome customization update is to our control center, which are now fully customizable. We can make buttons to the size we want, and you can add or remove whatever buttons you want easily via the new controls gallery, which is inside the control center itself. On the lock screen as well, you can now customize those torch and camera buttons to whatever buttons you would like. A feature I tried out, had for a week as something else, and put it back to a torch and camera because I couldn't find the torch ever after that. And to be honest, the camera being there is too useful. I know that you can just swipe left and bring up the camera itself, but after years of doing the camera and the torch literally at the bottom of my home screen, it's really hard to break that habit. So it would be interesting to know what you lot online change it to. Now, when we're younger, we're told that if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it. So, on that note, the Photos app got a big update. I don't really like it. It's now all on one page. It's so cluttered. I'm hoping it gets a little better in the next couple of months, and that is the Photos app. In Messages, there's even more ways of writing what you want, how you want. For example, you can make text bold or even move. I think the most important change to Messages in iOS 18, however, is the support for RCS. This improves texting via SMS, so it improves texting our friends who use Android phones, meaning things like read receipts, sending media, and tapbacks will now work with those colleagues of ours. As long as your Android phone also supports RCS, that is. But most Android phones do, even the old ones. Finally, in Messages, you can now schedule a message to send in the future, which is pretty neat. Although I hadn't said that, only noticed it to be working via Message, which came as a surprise, and it's not in this script because I didn't try to use it before then. Game mode has now come across from macOS to iOS. Game mode automatically starts running when you open a game and should improve your experience whilst running a game. I can't say I've noticed much changes myself, but I know that it does pause background activity whilst in game mode. I suppose the people who might see the benefit the most from this is those that are still using the older iPhones. Across iOS, iPadOS and macOS, there's now a new passwords app, meaning that the passwords section of settings has been removed and can now be easily accessed anywhere from this app. It's got similar design to the reminders and can easily highlight your Wi-Fi passwords as well as any potential security issues, like reused passwords or passwords that have been detected in a data breach. Finally, I want to talk about Apple Music, as it's my most used Apple service. The biggest change really is the Play Next and Play Later system, which, to keep it simple, has been redesigned to be like the way Spotify handle music queues. I was happy to see though that the shuffle, replay and autoplay buttons have been redesigned and are bigger. So the days are gone when you accidentally press the wrong one because the buttons were too small. There is genuinely a lot of new stuff inside iOS 18, and there's lots I haven't covered, from the new features in the Notes app to things like the all-new reader in Safari, which can even read a whole article for you in Siri's voice. I also haven't mentioned the latest in AI, and not artificial intelligence, I'm talking about Apple Intelligence. That will be in a separate article, video, podcast, I don't know, later date. Which means now it is time to have a look at WatchOS 11. WatchOS 11. For years now, the Apple Watch has been one of my most favourite Apple gadgets that I own, and WatchOS updates I look forward to the most, and this year was no exception. We're going to start with the fitness app. It is awesome to see that a feature that has been requested for a few years now has been added to WatchOS 11, and that we can now pause our activity rings. The default option is a day, but you could pause your activity rings all the way up to 90 days. Strange that there's a limitation on this, but it is 90. This is awesome, because if you've been working out, and you've been working out all week, for example, you know, the healthiest thing to do is not necessarily go and try to stretch yourself out and close all your rings. In fact, the healthiest thing to do would be to pause them and relax for one day. It also means you can pause them, for example, if you're ill, or, you know, say you have an accident and you need to have some rest because your legs or something. It's just genuinely better. If you'd rather not pause your rings, but you want to relax a little bit one day, well, good news for you, you can now customize each of your goals for each day. So for example, now you really can have the perfect lazy Sunday with just a stand goal of 5 and keep the rest of the week at 12. On your iPhone, the fitness app has also got a new design, which I can't say I'm the most comfortable with yet, but you can customize it to show whatever information you'd like to see, which is pretty neat, I suppose. Check-in was a feature which was launched last year with iOS 17, which is an easy-to-use feature that can automatically let your friends know you've gotten to your destination safe and has now been added to the Workouts app. Simply swipe left whilst you're running, for example, hit the check-in button and send it to your chosen contact. Your contacts will be notified and will be able to easily check that you're alright when you finish your workout. We've got a new app called Vitals, which uses all your back data that your Apple Watch collects on your day-to-day travels around, and it can show the past 7 days daily average of said vitals. What are the vitals? These are your heart rate, respiratory rate, blood oxygen, body temperature and sleep duration. It will then let you know to review your vitals should any of them differ from what they usually are. And whilst it also will remind you things that could cause them to go out of the range, like drinking alcohol or being ill. A small app itself, but any new app on the Apple Watch is always a bonus, and it's great to see another one that is to do with your health. And finally, on the Apple Watch, there's a new updated Photos watch face, which looks definitely better than the old one. Comes with a cool depth effect feature which looks similar to the one that is on your lock screen. I certainly like the look of it, but Apple have gone all out with this feature on their website, and I find it a little bit bizarre. It's like they've needed to fill in gaps on their website to make WatchOS 11 bigger than it is. And what's even weirder about that is I feel like we've had smaller updates to WatchOS 11, to be honest, because there is more in WatchOS 11 than those things I've just said. Annoyingly, things like the Maps updates are only coming to America, which is really annoying. And again, it's just more features that we don't get over here in the UK. When are we getting Apple Cash for a start? This pretty much concludes my video here. The sun is setting, as you can see. Thank you for watching with me. We will be looking at Apple Intelligence, like I said earlier, later on in the year, so keep an eye out for that. That's why I've not covered it in this update. I want to actually try it myself before commenting on it at all. It does look pretty good, I will give you that, and it is kind of annoying that it's only on iPhone 15 Pro models, but again, we'll look into that further. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time, whenever my next video is. For all I know, it could be in another year's time here at this glorious location. In case you're wondering, actually, this is Foxburrow Woods, just above Witney, near Hayley, Oxfordshire. Thank you for watching.